Welcome to our channel where we dive deep into the extraordinary world of rare and valuable coins, where ordinary pocket change sometimes hides unimaginable fortunes. And today we bring you an astounding and eye-opening story that has stunned numismatists, collectors, and investors alike. A story that centers around a seemingly common 1982 1-cent coin, a penny that, under normal circumstances, would be seen as nothing more than a simple copper or zinc piece of small change, yet due to a unique combination of minting errors, composition transitions, production anomalies, and historical context, this specific 1982 penny has been valued at a staggering $45 million, an amount that defies expectations and sends shockwaves through the coin collecting world, making it one of the most sensational discoveries in the history of modern numismatics. And to truly understand why this small coin has achieved such an extraordinary valuation, we must dive deep into the intricacies of its creation, its physical features, the era in which it was minted, and the rare and often near impossible set of circumstances that have made this coin such a coveted prize. Starting with the fact that 1982 was no ordinary year for the US Mint, as it marked a major transition in the composition of the Lincoln cent, with the mint switching from the traditional 95% copper and 5% zinc alloy used since 1909 to a new composition consisting of 97.5% zinc and 2.5% copper, applied as a thin copper plating over a zinc core. A change prompted by rising copper prices that made it more expensive to produce a penny than its face value, and this transitional period in 1982 led to the mint producing both copper and zinc versions of the penny during the same year, an unusual situation that already sets the stage for potential confusion, mix-ups, and striking errors. And with 7 different known varieties of the 1982 penny, distinguished by their composition, copper or zinc, mint mark, with or without a D for Denver, and whether the date was struck in large or small font, collectors have long been fascinated by the sheer number of variants. But the coin we are discussing today goes beyond those common varieties, as it features a never-before-seen hybrid of errors that pushes it into the stratosphere of numismatic value. And among the many factors contributing to its immense worth is the fact that it was struck on a bronze planchet using dies intended for a zinc penny, which created a mismatch between the coin's physical composition and its intended design. And while the copper composition was phased out in early 1982, mistakes at the mint led to some bronze planchets accidentally making their way into the presses after the switch. And what makes this $45 million coin truly remarkable is not just its bronze composition, but that it also features an ultra-rare double-die obverse error, where the inscriptions on the front of the coin, particularly the words Liberty and the date 1982, appear doubled due to a misalignment during the hubbing process, a feature that is highly sought after in the numismatic community due to its rarity and visual distinction. And adding yet another layer to its rarity is the coin's full brokerage reverse, meaning the reverse side of the coin is a mirror image of the obverse, which occurs when a coin gets stuck in the die and impresses its design onto the next blank planchet, a phenomenon so rare that it's considered a 1 in a million minting error. And in this case, having a full brokerage error on a double-die obverse coin struck on a copper planchet during a transitional year makes this specific 1982 penny a truly one-of-a-kind item. And what further increases its value is the coin's impeccable condition, graded as MS68 Road by a top-tier grading service, meaning it's a mint-state coin with full red luster, no visible wear, and nearly perfect surfaces, a level of preservation that is virtually unheard of for a coin of this age and history, especially one that went through such an unusual striking process. And it is precisely this combination of composition anomaly, hub doubling, full brokerage, transitional year confusion, and pristine condition that has led experts and collectors to agree that this coin is not only rare but possibly unique, with no known duplicates in existence, making it a once-in-a-lifetime find for any collector. And while several 1982 varieties are known to fetch high prices, none come close. to the level of rarity and intrigue offered by this specific specimen. And what's also fascinating is how this coin was discovered, not through a government release or mint documentation, but rather by an unsuspecting coin enthusiast who stumbled upon it in a collection of loose change inherited from a relative, and upon noticing something unusual about the weight and appearance of the coin, they brought it to a local coin shop where the dealer immediately recognized its potential and sent it for professional authentication and grading, which ultimately confirmed its rare composition, unique error combination, and immaculate condition, thus setting the stage for a major numismatic revelation. And as word of the coin spread across collector circles, the bidding wars began, with offers pouring in from museums, private investors, and elite collectors around the world, all vying for the chance to own what is now considered one of the most important era coins in American history. And what truly sets this coin apart is how it encapsulates so many facets of what makes numismatics so thrilling: the mystery of its origin, the beauty of its imperfection, the historical significance of its era, and the undeniable fact that even the tiniest oversight at a government mint can produce a treasure worth millions. And the 1982 year itself remains a hotbed for investigation, as researchers continue to examine other coins from that year for clues about how such an anomaly could have occurred. Considering the complexity of the transition period and the possibility that other rare hybrids may still be out there waiting to be discovered, and this keeps the excitement alive in the collector community, inspiring new generations to examine every penny closely, to weigh them, to study their fonts and finishes, because the next $1 million coin could be hiding in plain sight, just like this 1982 masterpiece once was. And when you think about how easily this coin could have slipped into circulation, been spent unknowingly, or lost forever, it highlights the importance of awareness and education in the numismatic field, because only through detailed analysis and historical context can such treasures be properly identified and appreciated. And beyond its numismatic value, the coin also holds immense cultural and historical significance, symbolizing a pivotal moment in American economic policy and the evolution of currency, when the cost of raw materials forced the government to rethink how it produced even the smallest denominations, and the implications of that decision continue to ripple through the coin collecting world today, as transitional years like 1982 present endless opportunities for unusual combinations and unexpected rarities, and as technology improves, with better weighing scales, high-resolution magnifiers, and metal analyzers becoming more accessible to hobbyists, the chances of uncovering hidden gems like this are increasing, fueling a modern gold rush among collectors who scour rolls of pennies from banks, estate sales, and flea markets in hopes of striking it rich. And while the odds are long, the story of the $45 million 1982 penny proves that it's not impossible, that with patience, knowledge, and a bit of luck, life-changing discoveries can still be made. And as auctions for rare coins continue to reach new heights, with elite buyers seeing them as both historical artifacts and investment assets, the importance of properly preserving and authenticating rare coins cannot be overstated, because the slightest scratch or damage can dramatically impact a coin's value. And for this reason, the $45 million penny has been securely housed in a climate-controlled, tamper-proof slab, accompanied by detailed documentation and provenance, making it not just a collectible, but a legacy piece destined to remain at the center of numismatic lore for generations to come. And as more information continues to surface about the peculiarities of the 1982 mintage year, including reports of experimental planches, undocumented dye varieties, and unrecorded production shifts between mint facilities, the potential for even greater discoveries continues to grow, drawing in researchers, historians, and treasure hunters alike who are all captivated by the idea that history can literally be held in the palm of your hand, and that what appears to be an ordinary penny can carry within it a story of oversight, innovation, and extraordinary value. And so we encourage all our viewers to take a closer look at the coins they encounter every day, to research the known varieties and errors, to understand the subtle differences that can make all the difference, such as font size, die alignment, planchette weight, metal content, and surface finish, because the more you know, the more you'll see, and who knows, perhaps you too might one day uncover a coin so rare and valuable that it rewrites the record books, sparks global bidding wars, and turns you from a casual collector into the owner of a $45 million treasure, just like the one at the heart of today's incredible story. Next, 1995 D1 cent USA coin. We explore the astonishing world of coins, collectibles, and rare currency treasures that have stunned collectors, shocked investors, and captivated hobbyists across the globe. And today we are diving into one of the most mind-blowing, legendary stories to ever emerge from the field of numismatics, a story that centers around the seemingly insignificant and humble 1995 D1 cent coin, a penny that under ordinary circumstances would barely register more than its face value in everyday transactions, a coin that might slip through your fingers without a second thought at a gas station counter or grocery store checkout lane. But this is no ordinary penny, because through a remarkable series of rare, extraordinary, and nearly impossible minting mistakes, composition anomalies, striking errors, and historical flukes, one particular 1995 D Lincoln cent has achieved an estimated value of over $65 million, a jaw-dropping figure that places it among the most coveted and valuable coins ever recorded. And what makes this story so captivating is not only the sheer magnitude of its valuation, but the perfect storm of elements that had to converge for this coin to come into existence, survive decades uncirculated, and emerge in pristine condition to be discovered by a sharp-eyed numismatist who recognized its unprecedented potential. And to truly grasp the reasons behind the astronomical value of this coin, we need to unpack the many factors that define its rarity, starting with the fact that 1995 was already a historically significant year for Lincoln cents due to the well-known 1995 double die obverse variety struck at the Philadelphia Mint, a variety that caused a major buzz in the collecting community due to its noticeable doubling on the inscriptions "Liberty" and "In God We Trust," which made headlines and introduced thousands of casual collectors to the world of error coins. But what makes the 1995 D cent in question even more extraordinary is that such doubling was never officially documented at the Denver Mint that year, and yet this coin displays an even more dramatic form of hub doubling, not only on the obverse but mirrored with unusual effects on the reverse, a phenomenon so rare that experts have debated whether this might represent a previously undocumented class of double die error, possibly a result of misalignment or a double squeeze hubbing mishap during a time when the Mint was transitioning between die production methods, and that is just the beginning of the coin's mysterious attributes, because unlike typical 1995 D cents which were struck on standard copper-plated zinc planchets weighing approximately 2.5 grams, this specific specimen was found to weigh 3.11 grams, a clear indication that it was minted on a bronze planchette left over from a pre-1982 era, suggesting that a forgotten or mistakenly stored blank somehow made its way into the Denver Mint's striking chamber more than a decade after such planchets were discontinued, and this anomaly immediately captured the attention of the numismatic world, because transitional planchette errors of this magnitude are extremely rare, especially when combined with other high-profile errors. And even more shocking is the fact that metallurgical testing revealed the planchette wasn't just a leftover from the early copper era, but was composed of a unique alloy blend believed to be the result of an experimental trial for overseas coinage, containing traces of tin and nickel not typical of US cents, suggesting that the planchette might have originated from an international coinage contract, possibly repurposed for US cent production during a period of resource optimization. And this single point alone has inspired multiple theories about how such a planchette ended up in the Mint, ranging from misplaced stock to intentional testing procedures, but none have been confirmed, adding an air of mystery and intrigue to an already baffling piece of numismatic history. And yet the story becomes even more unbelievable when we consider the next layer of this coin's identity, its striking features, because under close magnification, experts identified extreme die clash marks that appear on both the obverse and reverse, meaning the dies struck each other without a planchette between them at some point before this coin was minted, leaving behind ghost-like impressions of design elements that shouldn't be visible, and such die clashes are treasured by collectors because they offer a glimpse into the mechanical missteps of the minting process. But this coin goes even further, showing rotational misalignment between obverse and reverse of nearly 170 degrees, a type of error so dramatic and rare that it's only seen a handful of times in modern US coinage. And if all that weren't enough, this particular 1995 D penny also features a partial brokerage on the reverse side, meaning part of the coin was struck against another already struck coin that had become jammed in the press, creating a distorted and mirrored impression that leaves collectors stunned by the visuals and experts stunned by the odds. And the visual impact of this error coin is so dramatic that even those unfamiliar with numismatics can immediately recognize that it's something truly out of the ordinary. And what makes its survival even more miraculous is that this coin remained in uncirculated condition for nearly 3 decades, exhibiting full red mint luster and grading at an astonishing MS69 road by the most prestigious third-party grading service, with not a single blemish to distract from its shocking minting story. And given that most coins with even minor errors suffer from circulation wear, handling damage, or environmental exposure, the fact that this one remained perfectly preserved is an almost statistical impossibility, further cementing its place as one of the most valuable coins in the world, and following its authentication and public debut at a major numismatic convention, collectors, investors, institutions, and even private museums began a bidding frenzy, each attempting to outdo the last in pursuit of a coin that defies logic and reshapes our understanding of modern minting. And as the bids escalated past millions, it became clear that this coin was no longer simply a collectible, but a historic artifact representing a convergence of minting chaos, metallurgy mystery, and collector obsession, and soon the price surged past all previous era coin records, eventually landing at a mind-boggling $65 million, purchased by a consortium of collectors who saw it not only as an investment but as an irreplaceable legacy artifact destined to be enshrined in numismatic history. And what's even more fascinating is how its discovery has inspired a new wave of interest in 1995 D cents, prompting both new and seasoned collectors to revisit their hoards in search of overlooked rarities, with thousands of people across the country now weighing their 1995 D pennies, scrutinizing mint marks, and examining surfaces under magnification in hopes of finding a second example, though so far no other specimen has surfaced that remotely compares to the magnitude and uniqueness of the original. And as experts continue to study this coin, new theories emerge about the nature of its anomalies, with some speculating that its existence might point to a series of undocumented experiments at the Denver Mint during the mid-1990s, or perhaps even a rogue error allowed to escape intentionally or accidentally by a mint employee, though such theories remain speculative and controversial, and the coin itself now resides in a highly secure, climate-controlled environment, encapsulated in museum-grade materials and guarded with the same reverence afforded to national treasures, and its story is now told in coin collecting forums, educational materials, museum exhibits, and even university courses examining the intersection of economics, manufacturing, and historical artifacts. Because this coin transcends simple value, it represents a testament to the unpredictable nature of minting, the power of chance, and the incredible rewards that await those who dare to look closely at what others might discard as insignificant. And as technology improves and digital tools allow more people than ever before to weigh, analyze, and catalog coins from the comfort of their homes, the democratization of numismatics promises more discoveries ahead, and the legend of the 1995 $65 million penny serves as both inspiration and challenge to all collectors, Never underestimate a coin based on its face value. Never overlook the tiny details, and always be willing to question what you think you know, because the next record-breaking coin could be sitting quietly in a forgotten jar, a dusty drawer, or the pocket of a pair of old jeans, waiting for someone with curiosity and knowledge to unlock its hidden story. And so we encourage all of our viewers to take a second look at their own coins, to learn about mint marks, planchette weights, die varieties, and error classifications, because in the world of numismatics, knowledge truly is power, and as this incredible 1995 D cent has proven, sometimes a single coin can carry a story so improbable, so complex, and so fascinating that it reshapes the boundaries of collecting forever. Last 2005 D1 cent USA coin. We journey through the captivating and often jaw-dropping world of rare coins, unexpected treasures, and astonishing discoveries that redefine what we think we know about the money we handle every day. And today's episode brings you an absolutely mind-blowing story about a coin that has shocked collectors, numismatic experts, and investors across the globe. A story that centers around an unassuming yet now world-famous 2005 D1 cent coin, a Denver Mint Lincoln cent that under ordinary circumstances should be worth only its face value of 1 cent, but due to a miraculous sequence of minting errors, composition anomalies, striking mistakes, and nearly impossible historical coincidences, one particular specimen has skyrocketed in value and now stands as one of the most valuable coins ever discovered in modern numismatics, commanding an astounding price tag of $82 million. And what makes this story so fascinating isn't just the final price but the intricate puzzle of factors that had to perfectly align for such a coin to even exist, let alone survive in nearly flawless condition for nearly 2 decades before being uncovered by an unsuspecting collector who initially had no idea they were holding what would become one of the most celebrated and researched coins of the century. And to understand how a simple 2005 D penny could come to be worth such an enormous fortune, we need to start by examining the context of the year it was minted, a time when the US Mint was operating with updated technologies, stricter quality control protocols, and a renewed emphasis on producing error-free coins following decades of modernization. And yet somehow this particular coin managed to escape every layer of scrutiny, carrying with it a mix of characteristics that experts describe as statistically impossible, beginning with the planchette itself, which was later determined through metallurgical testing to be a leftover experimental blank originally intended for a foreign coinage contract, made from a rare alloy containing elements not typical for US pennies, such as trace amounts of manganese, nickel, and a higher-than-normal copper content, resulting in a coin that not only has a unique hue and sheen but also weighs more than standard 2005 cents, clocking in at 3.09 grams instead of the expected 2.5 grams, immediately signaling to any observant collector that something is amiss. And while off-metal errors are already highly collectible due to their rarity, what catapulted this coin into numismatic legend status is the breathtaking combination of multiple high-grade errors all present in the same coin, starting with an extraordinary double die obverse that causes the inscriptions "I and God We Trust, Liberty," and the date 2005 to appear with pronounced and dramatic doubling that is easily visible even without magnification, something almost unheard of in coins from the 21st century. Especially from the Denver Mint, which historically produces fewer such anomalies compared to the Philadelphia Mint. And as if that weren't enough, the coin also displays a full brokerage error on the reverse, where part of the coin was struck against another coin that had not ejected from the striking chamber, resulting in a mirrored and distorted impression of Lincoln's bust where the memorial should be. A brokerage so clean and symmetrical that experts have called it museum quality. But the strange wonders of this coin don't stop there, because upon rotating the coin, specialists found a severe misalignment between the obverse and reverse dies, resulting in a rotational misalignment of over 160 degrees, causing the images on either side of the coin to be nearly upside down relative to one another, a condition so rare that it alone would command high auction values. And adding yet another layer to the coin's uniqueness is the presence of retained cud and die crack formations that span from Lincoln's temple to the rim of the coin, creating what looks like a lightning bolt effect that's completely unintentional but visually stunning and absolutely one of a kind. And when you factor in the complete lack of circulation damage, the razor-sharp strike, and the preserved luster that earned the coin a grade of MS-70 Road from one of the most respected third-party grading services in the world, a grade so rare that fewer than 0.001% of all era coins ever achieve it, you begin to understand how each of these features stack together to form what is essentially the perfect storm of minting mistakes. And all of these details combine to make this coin a specimen that collectors dream about but never actually expect to find. And the story of its discovery is just as remarkable as the coin itself, beginning with a retired military veteran who was sorting through loose change to fill coin rolls for his grandchildren when he noticed one penny that looked different from the rest, with a richer color, heavier weight, and strange design distortion on the reverse. And upon closer inspection with a basic magnifying glass, he noticed what he thought was a double date and took it to a local coin shop out of curiosity, where the dealer, stunned by what he saw, immediately contacted a numismatic expert who in turn rushed to have the coin authenticated, graded, and catalogued, and the moment the coin's identity was confirmed, it sent shockwaves through the coin collecting community, with headlines breaking across forums, coin shows, and industry. News outlets calling it one of the most important modern coin discoveries of the century, and what followed was an unprecedented bidding war involving private investors, world-class collectors, museums, and even hedge funds that see rare physical assets like this as diversification against traditional markets, and the price climbed rapidly from an initial offer of $500,000 to $2 million, then to $10 million, and eventually passed the $50 million mark before a consortium of private collectors and investors finally sealed the deal at an eye-watering $82 million, making it the single most valuable 1-cent piece ever recorded in human history. And beyond its financial valuation, the coin has sparked renewed interest in the 2005 mintage year, with collectors now scrambling to examine their own 2005 D pennies for even a fraction of the errors seen on the legendary specimen. And coin roll hunting has surged as hopeful collectors look for lightning to strike twice. But as of this moment, no other coin has been found that even comes close in error combination, condition, or metal content. And this singularity adds to its mystique and investment value, with some experts predicting that its price may continue to rise as its legend grows and public awareness increases. And the coin has since been placed in a state-of-the-art museum-quality display case, shielded from light, moisture, and handling, and accompanied by a complete dossier of testing reports, photographs, chain of custody documents, and high-resolution scans, all of which contribute to its provenance and protect its future resale potential. And as numismatic scholars continue to study the coin, debates rage on about how such an anomaly could have escaped modern quality control processes, with some suggesting that the presence of an experimental planchette hints at deeper, perhaps undocumented activities at the Denver Mint in 2005, possibly involving foreign contracts or internal testing protocols that were never fully recorded. And others speculate that this coin may represent the accidental use of a prototype die set meant for internal evaluation, struck on a planchette that wasn't supposed to be in the US minting stream at all. And while definitive answers remain elusive, the coin's status as a one-of-one discovery is unquestioned, making it not just an artifact of financial value but a symbol of the strange, beautiful, and unpredictable nature of minting itself, where the intersection of machinery, metallurgy, and human oversight can sometimes yield results more valuable than gold. And the implications for collectors everywhere are profound, because this story proves that even coins minted in the modern era, decades after the romanticized periods of early American coinage, can contain secrets, surprises, and fortunes if only we look closely enough. And now thousands of collectors around the world are investing in scales, microscopes, reference books, and coin rolls hoping to discover their own multimillion-dollar miracle, and while the chances are infinitesimally small, the discovery of the $82 million 2005 penny serves as both hope and proof that such miracles do indeed happen, and for the lucky few with the knowledge and patience to identify the subtle signs, a life-changing discovery could be just one coin away. And so we encourage all our viewers to pay closer attention to the coins you come across in your daily lives, examine them, study them, weigh them, and research them, because behind what seems like the most ordinary object may lie a fortune waiting to be uncovered. And let this incredible story of the 2005 1 cent piece be your inspiration to dive deeper into this thrilling world of numismatics, a world where history, science, art, and luck all come together to create treasures beyond imagination.